Good morning, everyone. I am your speaker, Ma'am Evelyn C. Kitcho from JAG MHS. I hope you have a pleasant day. Our topic for today is about habitats and adaptations. We will discover how do adaptations help living things survive in different habitats. Most essential learning competency. Explain how living things depend on the environment to meet their basic needs. Living things. Living things need each other. For example, plants depend on humans and animals to pollinate their flowers and spread seeds. On the opposite end, humans and animals depend on plants for food and shelter. How do humans and animals depend on plants? Certainly, both depend on plants in many ways. Number one, they breathe in oxygen that is produced by plants. Another, they depend on plants for food and also for shelter and protection. Plants as food. Note that every part of a plant is edible for both human and animals. For instance, squirrels use nuts as a source of food and energy. Caterpillars eat leaves as a source of food. Humans also eat plants. Plants as shelter. In the picture, you will see the bird uses twigs and plant materials to build its nest. Next beside it are the trees that serve as shelter and also protection for the snakes. How do plants depend on animals? Some animals help flowers with pollination. Animals such as bees, hummingbirds, wasps, butterflies, and bats travel from flower to flower. Another process of spreading seeds is through seed dispersal. Animals play an important role in dispersing or spreading of seeds. Biomes are very large ecological areas. For example, tropical rain forest. The tropical rainforest What is life in a rainforest? To know more about this, let us watch this video.
While rainforests only make up about 6% of the Earth's surface area, they are home to over half of the world's plant and animal species. This biodiversity creates benefits that extend far beyond the rainforest boundaries. Rainforest plants produce an assortment of food items, in addition to ingredients useful in everyday products and medicines. In fact, an estimated 70% of the plants used in cancer treatments are only found in rainforests. On an even larger scale, rainforests help to stabilize the planet's climate.
How have vegetation adapted to the rainforest environment? The best example for this is buttress root. Most trees in the rainforest have wide buttress roots to support them as they grow incredibly tall, over 20 to 40 meters in some cases, as there is considerable competition for sunlight. In addition to this, roots grow wide rather than deep because nutrients exist in the top layer of the soil. Next example are the epiphytes. Epiphytes are plants that grow on the surface of another plant. They get their moisture and nutrients from the air, rain, water, or debris accumulating around it. Lianas or vines grow around trees as they climb to reach sunlight. Leaf stems are also flexible to allow leaves to move with the sun to maximize photosynthesis. Last but not the least, drip tips. They have thick, waxy leaves with pointed tips called drip tips. These channel the water to a point so it runs off that the weight of the water doesn't damage the plant. And there's no standing water for fungi and bacteria to grow in. Waxy coating of the leaves also helps repel the rain. How have animals adapted to the rainforest environment? One best example is the poison dart frog. It is known for its bright color. Very pretty. However, in the animal world, this signifies dangers. It excretes poison through its skin, and its bright color warns potential predators against eating it. Second example are sloths. Two-toed sloths are nocturnal, which enables them to avoid predators by sleeping during the day. Although three-toed sloths are both diurnal, are active during the day, and nocturnal, they are largely inactive during the day. Sloths are built for life in the trees because their arms are longer than their legs and their feet are curved, which helps them grasp branches. Sloths move very slowly, which helps them avoid being seen by predators. On the third row are the spider monkeys. The main physical adaptation of the spider monkey is its prehensile tail. It allows the spider monkey to be able to grasp the branches of trees. It is longer than the monkey's body and composed of 23 vertebrae for its suppleness and strength. The monkey can hang by its tail, swing by it, pick fruit with it, and even throw things with it. Spider monkeys have a highly well-developed larynx, which they use to communicate across the treetops as they are very sociable animals. Fourth is the gecko. It is green, which provides camouflage in treetops where they dwell. Has developed large flattened toe pads that have sticky scales on their undersides, which help them grip on the smooth tree trunks, allowing them to climb vertically up trees. Gecko's tail has also evolved to become easily detached, allowing it to escape if caught by a predator. The jaguar. Jaguar have adapted to the wet environment of the tropical rainforest. They are excellent swimmers, and unlike other cats, they seek out water for bathing and swimming. The jaguar's fur keeps it camouflaged in the tropical rainforest. They are also powerful, giving it the strength to move slowly and silently through the forest when stalking prey. Best of both worlds, they can also move extremely fast, which makes it an effective hunter. They have developed large claws, which enable them to climb small trees and catch their prey. Desert. What is life in a desert?
While deserts experience extreme temperatures and receive very little precipitation, they are still important habitats for plants and animals. Desert animals, such as the coyote, have evolved to withstand harsh desert conditions by burrowing into the cool ground and emerging at night when desert temperatures drop. Many desert plants, including the saguaro cactus, have established long and shallow root systems to better absorb what minimal moisture might be present in the ground. Highly specialized to survive in such a harsh environment, desert wildlife is particularly vulnerable to ecological changes.
This time, how have vegetation adapted to the desert? The very best example is the cactus. Cactus. Cacti also have spines instead of leaves. This minimizes surface area and helps reduce moisture loss through transpiration during the day. The spines also protect the cacti from being eaten by animals. They also have a waxy coating on stems to help reduce water loss. Cacti have widespread root systems located close to the surface that can collect water from a large area. Other ways plants tolerate the dry conditions include: number 1, long roots to tap into the water deep underground. Number 2, short life cycles. A plant or seed could remain dormant until the rain comes. How have animals adapted to the desert? It is very interesting. Can we live in scarcity of water? These animals, they do. Number 1 in rank are the camels. They have humps to store fat, which a camel can break down into water and energy when nourishment is not available. They rarely sweat, even in hot temperatures, so when they do take in fluids, they can conserve them for a long periods of time. They also have large, tough lips, enable them to pick at dry and thorny desert vegetation. They have broad, flat, leathery feet to spread their weight and provide protection from the hot sun. They also lose little water through urination and perspiration. And lastly, they have slit-like nostril and 2 rows of eyelashes to protect themselves from the sun. Fennec fox. They have thick fur on feet protecting them from the hot ground. They have large, bat-like ears that radiate body heat and help keep them cool. They have long, thick hair that insulates them during cold nights and protect them from the hot sun during the day. They have light-colored fur to reflect sunlight and keep their bodies cool. Another example is a kangaroo rat. They are getting moisture from their seed diet. They are living in burrows during the day to avoid extreme heat. Having the large back legs allow them to jump almost 3 meters to avoid predators. And having large ears enables them to hear approaching predators. How have plants adapted to the cold environments? Do you think, is there any plants who can grow on ice? Yes, there is. Actually, they are very cute and beautiful, like cushion plants. They are low-growing compact plants, which helps them retain moisture from drying winds. They also trap airborne dust, which provides a source of nutrients. Another one is a softie. They are called as a cotton grass. It has small seeds that can easily be dispersed by the wind to ensure its survival. They are low-lying, which helps it reduce moisture loss by drying winds. As the temperature decreases, it grows rapidly and produces seeds. It has thin leaves, which help reduce water loss by transpiration. It has shallow roots to access nutrients and water close to the surface within the active layer. Next to it are the withy lichen. They do not require soil to grow. They are able to survive cold temperatures and can survive beneath the snow. They are also slow-growing, which reduces the amount of energy it requires. Another are the lovely Arctic poppies. They retain heat through their hairy stem. They can also follow the sun to maximize the sunlight it receives, leading to increased photosynthesis. They also produce flowers very quickly, even when the snow is melting. We have also greenery in cold environments. It is because of the mosses. They can cope with waterlogged conditions in the summer. They can survive the winter drought. It also allows them to deal with the seasonal change from winter to summer when actively layer melts. How have animals adapted to the cold environments? Existing in here are the cuddly, bubbly, and whitey animals. Arctic fox and Arctic hare. Arctic foxes and Arctic hares have thick fur on their bodies and feed to keep them warm in winter. Their fur becomes white, providing camouflage from predators. Arctic foxes can also eat a variety of foods, which helps when food is scarce. Another is the musk oxen. They have 2 layers of fur to help insulate them. They have wide hooves so they can walk on waterlogged ground and snow. Polar bears. Polar bears have thick fur and a layer of blubber to keep them warm. They have translucent, hollow white that helps with camouflage and insulation. They have small ears to reduce heat loss. They also have a layer of blubber which, over the summer, and use it as an energy store in the winter. They have stiff hairs on their paws to help with swimming, traction, and insulation. They have front paws that are webbed to help with swimming. Wolves. They have white fur which allows them to blend into their snowy surroundings, ideal when stalking prey. They have more rounded ears to reduce heat loss. They have hair between the pads of their feet and long, thick fur to keep them warm in cold temperatures. Coral reef ecosystem. What is life in a coral reef?
Coral reefs. Their bright, vivid colors can be seen in tropical ocean waters around the globe. Beyond their brilliant appearance lies a hidden significance. Coral are animals. Though they may look like colorful plants, coral are in fact made up of tiny animals called polyps. These invertebrates can range from the size of a pinhead to a bit larger than a basketball. Each polyp consists of a soft sac-like body topped by a mouth covered in stinging tentacles. To protect their soft bodies and add support, the polyps secrete limestone skeletons or calicles. Corals are megabuilders. Polyp calicles connect to one another, creating a colony that acts as a single organism.
Main idea. Environment are made up of living and non-living things. Living things like animals depend on plants for food and shelter. Plants depend on animals to pollinate flowers and spread seeds. Some organisms survive changes better than others, whether it would be in a forest, desert, coral reef, or in a cold environment. That is, an adaptation is a special feature or behavior that helps an organism survive in its environment. To end my presentation, here is a wanderer's word. Forest, natural resources, animals, nothing needs to be preserved. If we're able to preserve the humanity inside all of us. That's all. Thank you.